Good afternoon, guys. It is April 15th, 2023. On this video here, I want to talk about a vacuum cleaner that is honestly overlooked and very, very underrated in a lot of ways. Not necessarily by those of us who understand these things, but just generally by the average consumer. A lot of people think, oh, these are just old designs, they're old technology, they don't really clean as well, they don't, work as well as the newer stuff. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is not true. These machines are probably some of the strongest vacuum cleaners you can get in terms of carpet cleaning. Yes, it's old school, it's old style, but I want you to realize something. If you have mostly wall-to-wall carpet, which, I know a lot of people are going to hardwood floors and stuff, I get that, but there are still a lot of people, including myself, who have pretty much all carpet in their house. And that is something that needs to be cleaned well. And when you have wall-to-wall carpet, like me, this type of design is arguably one of the best designs in terms of deep cleaning carpet. It just is. No, you don't have tools on board and everything like that, but let's be honest, you can get a second vacuum cleaner, like a canister vacuum cleaner for your tool cleaning, and it's not going to be a big deal. It's just the way it is, and you cannot have, in a lot of cases, you cannot have tools on a machine that cleans quite this well. I know there are some exceptions. There are some tandem air machines, and those are wonderful in their own ways, but they can be more involved, more costly to repair when something does go out on them, or something, comes up. So I want to talk to you about the Sanitaire commercial vacuum cleaners that are metal. Well, they're not necessarily all metal, but they're commercial grade machines that are built with very sturdy materials. Now, these aren't necessarily something that I would use heavily, like in a commercial environment. I think they're good for that, but usually when there's a ton of abuse and a lot of people using these, and you don't know who's going to be using it, these can break fans and stuff, so I would just think about that. But if you don't have that problem or anything to worry about with that, then in a commercial setting, this probably wouldn't be the worst idea, because these do clean very well, and they are built to withstand constant beating, being moved around, and they're just great. Now, why would I be so thrilled with a machine like this? Number one, I want you to realize that the majority of vacuum cleaners nowadays are designed in such a way to where everybody is all worried about suction. It's got to be very strong suction because I have to suck everything out of the carpet. But people don't realize that suction is only 35% of the equation that determines how well a vacuum cleaner cleans. It is not suction that cleans your carpet. First, you need agitation, so the grooming and brushing and beating of the carpet to loosen dirt and stuff and vibrate it out of the lower pad of the carpet. And you need airflow to allow air to come in to pull debris through. You need basically a machine that will allow air to flow all the way down to the lower pad of the carpet. And that's what this does. You know, your old Hoovers, you know, from back in the 70s, the 60s, and stuff, you know, those Hoover convertibles, you know, maybe your mom had one, maybe your grandma had one. Those things cleaned very, very, very well because they were direct air. They had metal beater bars. They had the agitation and the airflow to really deep clean those carpets. Well, nowadays we have a lot of vacuum cleaners that are just, you know, it may look good on the surface, but is it really getting those carpets deep cleaned? And there are some vacuum cleaners, you know, that are more, you know, of today's style that have the hose on board and everything that do a very good job deep cleaning. But you know, to what extent is that? And first of all, I want you to realize that you need a brush roll that is a larger diameter, that has relatively stiff bristles, that's preferably wood or a large diameter composite material that is not hollow. Or better yet, a metal brush roll. Now, that's mostly what this thing is. You know, you can get models with a wood brush roll or a metal brush roll, and I'll bring you in closer at some point to show you, but you've got bristles here, and then you've got beater bars, these raised bumps. Now I want you to realize that you see how this plate is metal? Most of your vacuum cleaners today have plastic base plates, plastic things. Hold on. I'm going to bring you guys closer here. And plastic does not hold up quite as well as metal. Now, you want to make sure that you have a machine that withstands the constant beating, being moved around. I don't advocate you slamming this thing against your furniture, slamming it against your walls, but things are going to happen, and plastic can crack, get brittle, and break, and it's just not as sturdy. So, the metal is a lot more sturdy, and it will last a lot longer. It doesn't get jagged, it doesn't get worn down as easy. It's really sturdy. Now, this is your brush roll here. I'm going to take this out here. Yeah, excuse this is a little dirty because obviously it's been used in my house, but this is arguably the best way to deep clean carpet. These beater bars here to beat, vibrate all that sand out is absolutely vital to cleaning your carpet thoroughly. And then obviously, sorry, there's hair on here. Hair wrap doesn't really accumulate badly on this because it's a metal brush roll. Hair usually won't stick to it, like a magnet, like a plastic brush roll would. So that's one advantage of these. But also, I want you to realize that this has balanced bearings. And you want your brush to spin freely, you want it to spin nice. These bristles are pretty dense. They're not too stiff, but they're not so soft where it's not going to beat the carpet and actually groom it very well. Now, these brush strips on any vacuum cleaner with any brush roll, bristles eventually wear down. It's just like, your tires on a car. The more you drive it, and the more it, rubs against the road, it's going to wear down. It's the same thing with your brush rollers and your vacuum cleaners on your carpet. It is so about every 5, 10, 15 years, usually about 10 to 15 years for most households, these brush bristles tend to wear out. Well, most vacuum cleaners that have plastic brush rollers or something like that, you have to change the entire roller. With this, you can unbolt the ends and then just slide the bristles out and then slide new bristles in. And that's very, very simple to do. And it will keep your machine running very well for years to come. Now make sure that you keep your belts changed, keep them in good shape. Belts should be changed every 6 to 12 months usually. And the belts for this are Eureka style RD belts. They're very common, they're everywhere, very cheap, and easy to find. Now, I want you to realize something here. Now, let's see if I can get you lower. So you can see. This is your fan here. This is what creates all the suction and airflow. Most vacuum cleaners have just a little hose off to the side, and that's it. There's nothing here. Maybe there's a tiny hose in the center, but it has to travel all through hoses and everything to get to the bag or canister, and that doesn't really it's not really efficient. What this is it comes straight in here and then it blows straight up into the bag. That is the most efficient direct air path that there is. I mean, it's even more efficient than, Eureka's, airspeed technology or whatever you want to call it. They say, oh, that's a more direct path, and it is. But this is even more direct because this is what creates the suction and the airflow. You will get amazing performance out of this machine by using it on your carpet, because that fan is literally like 3 inches from your floor. So, I mean, that's just something that, a lot of people don't think about. They think, oh, well, it's just clean, I don't see anything. But you need to realize, and this is one thing that I will say, if you've ever gotten new carpet installed in your home, you know how incredibly expensive new carpet is. Having a machine that cleans very well, and let's be honest, any vacuum cleaner is better than no vacuum cleaner at all or not vacuuming at all. But if you make a good investment in carpeting, like especially expensive carpeting, you should also make a good investment in a vacuum cleaner. And I'm not saying that you need to spend $800, $1,000 or something, but at least try and look in the commercial range. Something that has a metal brush roll like this. Something around the $300 to $400 range at least. Yes, it's going to cost, but in reality, you've spent a lot of money in carpeting. Protect that investment by getting a really good vacuum cleaner. And I'm not talking about good vacuum cleaner as in something off the shelf from Walmart. I'm talking about really look at professional grade vacuum cleaners, commercial grade vacuum cleaners, things like that. And it's not only for the cleanliness of your carpet and to extend the life of your carpet, but it's also getting a machine that will last. Something that will last you 15, 20, 25, 30 years. Because honestly, there are people, and I see people every day, who they think about like, oh, well, you know, it's performing well. And, it's making noise and it sounds like it's cleaning, but they don't pay attention to how it's cleaning. They don't pay attention to, being able to feel the vibration in the floor. And I will say that that is one of the most important things in a vacuum cleaner, is being able to feel the vibration on the floor, because that means that it's vibrating all that sand out. And when you invest in carpet, that's important, because sand, grit, things like that is very damaging to your carpet and shortens the life of your carpet tremendously. And I will say that carpeting is one of the most expensive things that we do in our home. And yes, you have different grades of carpet, different qualities of carpet and stuff, but it also comes down to how it's maintained. Vacuuming, cleaning, just maintaining it. Because if you aren't vacuuming it, you aren't cleaning it, you aren't maintaining it properly, then it's not going to last as long. And I know a lot of people who are like, I want my carpet to last as long as possible. Well, this is how you do it, by getting a machine like this. Do not worry about how the machine looks. This might look old to people, but I can tell you, it's not going to make your carpet look old. It's going to keep your carpet looking new for a very long time. And proper vacuuming with a machine like this that deep cleans, whether it's a Sanitaire, whether it's a Kirby, whether it's some other good quality commercial machine with a metal brush roll, or even a wooden brush roll that actually beats and grooms the carpet, it is going to make your carpet last for many, many years, 10, 15, possibly even 20 years, depending upon the quality of the carpet. But it also depends on how you maintain it and care for it. And the frequency of vacuuming, it kind of depends on your lifestyle, but at the very least, vacuum once a week. But really, what I see, and I've heard some people say this, and it kind of makes sense, for every member of your household, both animals and people. So, for example, if you had like 4 people and 1 dog, you'd vacuum 5 times a week. You know, which may sound extreme to some people, but I've heard that analogy and it kind of makes sense. But, you know, stuff is always coming into your home, stuff is always settling in your carpet. Um, it just is. And, you know, I've heard some people say, well, vacuuming it too much can cause damage to your carpet. Honestly, that is total BS because I can tell you that you can vacuum as often as you want. I mean, you can vacuum every single day. Every single day. And it will not hurt your carpet. Not at all. You know, now, yes, there are some vacuum cleaners that can damage carpet. I mean, there are some that are just so poorly made that can truly damage your carpet. But there's not too many of them that actually do that. And the more dirt, dust, debris, sand, soil, whatever else is in your carpet, you can remove from your carpet, keep out of your carpet, the longer it's going to last. And yeah, you can argue that the brushing action against the carpet can wear it. Honestly, it's better for the carpet to be brushed and groomed than it is for stuff to just sit in there, building up, the sand to be in there, grinding away at the carpet fibers, and damaging the carpet. You know, you cannot be worried about damaging your carpet by vacuuming it, because honestly, not vacuuming it is way, way, way more damaging to your carpet than actually vacuuming it regularly. I mean, you can vacuum it. Like I said, you can vacuum every single day. It is not going to hurt your carpet. No way, no how is that going to happen. I mean, can a vacuum cleaner wear down your carpet? If you use it improperly and you crank it all the way down to the lowest setting, yes, have it, raised to the highest setting and then with it on, lower it until you hear it touch the floor. And once you hear it touch the floor, you stop. Don't lower it anymore. Once you hear it vibrating and humming, you know that it's cleaning enough. Because if you jack it all the way down, then that's going to grind away at your carpet. And that's not going to help. So, proper vacuuming, using a good quality machine like this, and staying on top of it is going to allow you to have a return on investment. And bagged vacuum cleaners are arguably the best because bagged vacuum cleaners are going to have more airflow because there's not a bunch of cyclones and tubes and weird stuff for air to have to go through. It goes straight into the bag, and then it's done. It just constantly flows. A machine like this will out-clean a Dyson vacuum cleaner. On carpet, arguably, it will. I mean, nobody else can convince me otherwise. I have done a lot of research. I have seen a lot of tests. I have been looking at vacuum cleaners, researching vacuum cleaners, working with vacuum cleaners for almost 15 years now. And I mean, there's just so much evidence that proves that direct air vacuum cleaners like this clean much, much, much better than a lot of machines that a lot of people think are the strongest. And yes, Dysons and vacuum cleaners like that, they're good for what they are. But, is it the strongest deep cleaning? Not really. And honestly, a machine like this is going to be cheaper than a Dyson, and it's going to last you longer than a Dyson. A machine like this is going to cost you anywhere from $150 up to like $300, $350. And you'll have this machine for probably a good, 15, 20 years at least. And not only that, but parts are everywhere for these. They're as common as dirt. They're cheap. Parts are all over the place. Bags, cords, belts, fans, motors, anything and everything that you might need, it's available. I have rebuilt this machine twice. And this machine originally was manufactured in 1997, and it's still going now. I put in a new motor, a new cord, I put a new base on it, I put a new brush roll in it, I put a new fan in it. I basically rebuilt this thing pretty much from the ground up, and it's still running, and it'll probably continue to run and outlive just about anything else that's out there. So, yeah. So anyway, that about does it for this video. I just wanted to do a video talking about this because, I had thought about that, this week, we actually were, looking at our carpet, because our carpet is, pretty old and worn out. And we just kind of were looking at it, saying, like, yeah, what if we replaced it? What if we did this? And, the guy that was looking at it with us, he's like, yeah, it should, last quite a while as long as people keep it vacuumed and keep it clean and all that. And that got me thinking about this stuff because I've known this stuff for a long time, but I want to make people aware that the quality of a vacuum cleaner, the frequency of vacuuming, the components of a vacuum cleaner, it all matters. It's all very, very, very important. So, anyway, I hope this was informative to you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me in the comments below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos.